Hello, hello. Welcome to Kinship. If you are new here, we are so happy to have you. And if you are returning, welcome back. My name is Jessica Amos. I'm a mindfulness teacher and coach, and I'm the founder of Stay With Yourself. Stay with yourself is the practice of being who you are, where you are, learning to honor yourself in each moment. And I believe that's exactly what we are here to do, to stay with ourselves, to honor ourselves, to really show up for ourselves in this space, and to also heal and grow together. So, really, really happy to be here with you today. What I want to be talking to you about actually is what it means to stay with yourself. So, a little story about me, and this will help you understand the origins of stay with yourself. And then you can kind of take this away into your groups and in your discussion today and talk about what stay with yourself and staying with yourself and belonging to yourself and coming home to yourself means to you. You can say it in any kind of way. But I know that stay with yourself for me has become a mantra, a way of life, a way of being. It's central to everything in my life. And the way that it came about for me is many years ago. I had two young kids. I was married, and life was stressful. It was hard, and we were going through some marital strife, and decided to go to counseling. And so we selected this marriage counselor, and he lived up in Portland and we lived like an hour away. So we would kind of make a little bit of a date out of our marriage counseling session, and we'd drive up and we'd go to Pete's Coffee and we get some coffee, and then we'd go to our session. So just as we had done this routine many times before, we stop at Pete's Coffee. My husband at the time orders his coffee, whatever. He gets it and he just starts walking towards the door while I'm still waiting to get my coffee. And I want to like doctor it up and do the things to it, put a sleeve in the cup and maybe put some extra sugar or whatever in there. And as he's leaving and I'm still waiting to put the cream and sugar in my coffee, I'm like stressing out. I'm super freaked because I feel like now I need to rush. He's leaving. I need to run for the door. I'm like spilling things all over because now I'm rushing myself, and I'm angry and I'm frustrated and I feel ditched. And I was just like really overwhelmed with this feeling. So by the time we got to our counseling session, I was just in a total huff. I was like, I have to talk about this thing. And so I kind of told this story of like, hey, I just am constantly feeling ditched by my husband. He's always walking ahead of me. I feel like I'm always rushing to catch up. And I'm just really, really frustrated that he's not waiting for me. And our counselor had a response that I was not expecting. I think I was expecting some sort of like, reprimand to my husband at the time, like you should wait for her. But instead, our counselor leaned in really close, and he goes, Jessica, it sounds to me like you need to learn to stay with yourself. And I was like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? Like, it was such a profound statement. I'd never heard it. And I'd already I'd been on like my healing and growth journey for a while, like learning to set boundaries and doing different things, but I'd never heard that before. I was like, you need to explain that to me. So I leaned in closer. I'm like, what does that mean? And he goes, basically, you need to learn to stay with the experience that you're having in the moment. If your husband wants to get his coffee and then head for the door and wait for you outside or wait for you in the car, he gets to do that because that's what he gets to do. He's staying with himself. So you need to stay with yourself, and you need to be present to yourself and what's happening for you in this moment. If you want to take your time, take all the time in the world. And take your time to really take care of yourself, put your cream and sugar in your coffee, and go at your pace. And it literally blew my mind. Like, I had never heard this, and it was so basic, and it was such like a basic, ordinary, everyday moment, but it absolutely changed everything for me because I've been going through the world like not fully realizing, completely unconsciously, that I was constantly shifting my energy and my pace and the way I was doing things in order to fit into other people's pacing and what other people were doing. And resentment was growing inside of me. And so this small little phrase of stay with yourself, it became, again, like I said, a mantra, a way of life, a way of being when I found myself feeling irritated, feeling resentful, feeling stressed out, rushing myself, any number of things. Even like maybe making a choice that had been conditioned into me to make, but realizing I don't really like, I don't really like bananas. Why am I eating bananas? Right? Like even little things like that, down to like big things of speaking my truth to a family member where I've never spoken my truth before. It's like, it's truly this practice of honoring ourselves in each moment and what is true for us in each moment. Sometimes it's true that I'm feeling shy and quiet and contemplative and introverted. And sometimes it's true that I'm out in the world and I'm loud and I'm expressed and I'm big and I have a lot to say. And there can be all different kinds of ways that we can practice staying with ourselves, because it is totally a present moment thing. Like here I am with my coffee talking to you. This is me in my space, staying with myself, doing as I do today in this moment, which is going to look different tomorrow, which looked different yesterday, right? So that's what I want to leave you with today, is this idea of stay with yourself. What does stay with yourself mean to you, and how can you apply this to your life? And are there some stories, and are there some things coming up for you where you might be able to apply this? And you might call it like staying true to yourself, belonging to yourself, no longer rejecting yourself. You're no longer betraying yourself for the approval of others. You can call it homecoming to yourself. So it doesn't have to be stay with yourself specifically, but I really look forward to hearing how this conversation goes to you. How can you goes with you today? How can you apply this to your life? And enjoy your time together. Thank you so much to our facilitator for holding the space for us to talk about these wonderful topics. And thank you to all of you for showing up for yourselves and staying with yourself here today. Until next time, may you stay with yourself today and always. Bye.